All right, still in part six. Let's talk about the 1980s changing roles. So, factors affecting dress. So, environmentalism. So, environmental concerns continue to gain awareness. Animal rights activists campaigned against wearing real fur. Environmentalists encouraged the recycling of used clothing. The changing American family. So, the baby boom led to an increase in children's clothing sales. Designers of adult clothing produce product lines for children known as kitty couture. The changes in the roles of women. So, power suits, which were business garments worn by men and women, were also known as dress for success. Clothing became unisex, which was basically interchangeable garments in appearance. Ready to wear changes in the fashion industry. So, fashion change between 1980 and 1999 came from ready to wear. Department stores organized their sales floors according to the designers or manufacturers that they carried. Manufacturers licensed their couture names of designers to create handbags, jewelry, and household linens. Italian designers continue to have a strong presence within ready to wear and couture. Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson helped to draw attention to British designers. Japan emerged as a major fashion center. Designs were quite different from other contemporary fashions, hence, they gained press coverage. Garments were created in unusual silhouettes that were oversized and loose on the body. Manufacturing. The industry became more globalized with garments being produced in developing countries. Wages were lower, which allowed garments to be sold at lower retail prices. The growing teen market. Generation X, individuals born between the mid 1960s and the 1980s. Gen X played an important role in retailing. They often obtained their fashion information from celebrities, MTV, and their peers. Their brand loyalty fluctuated. The prominence of labels. Labels were a big selling point for clothing. Social groups. The affluent influenced fashion. Royal families, such as Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson, political leaders and their spouses, such as Nancy Reagan. Yuppies and preppies. Yuppies were young, upwardly mobile professionals. Preppy styles included your classic tweed blazers, conservative skirts or trousers, and tailored tops, quality loafers, Oxfords, or pumps. African American style derived from inner city youth and rappers. Styles included Adidas or untied high top sneakers, oversized t shirts, gold hoop earrings, and gold chains. Fades, which were hairstyles where the hair was cut short on the sides and long on the top, was worn by men. Names or words were also shaved onto the scalp. Dreadlocks, which were hanging twists, were generally worn long by Rastafarians. Oversized leather jackets, which music group Salt-N-Pepa popularized, were also worn. Body piercing. The body was pierced, tattooed, branded, and cut. Blue jeans and denim. Textile manufacturers developed techniques to dye and finish jeans, making them appear faded or streaked. Washes included pre-washed, stone washed, or acid washed. Old jeans were cut off at the knee and were referred to as cutoffs. Jeans also had large horizontal tears in the late 1980s. High-tech fabrics. Stretch fabrics were a major component of fashion. Teflon coated, stain resistant fabrics were marketed. Lyocell, a new form of rayon, was developed. This fabric was more environmentally friendly. The fitness craze. Sneakers were of high importance. Women used them for their commutes to work. Expensive sneakers became a status symbol amongst inner city youth. Costume components for women. Garments. Shoulder pads were added to practically everything. Tight fitted dresses were made from spandex blends. Underwear was worn as outerwear. Bustiers and camisoles were worn. Microfibers were made to look and feel like silk. Short suits were introduced by Giorgio Armani after 1987. Evening wear. The lipouf, a wide puffy skirt with a light airy appearance, which was designed by Christian Lacroix, was popular and widely accepted during this time. It was also widely copied. Outerwear garments included short down jackets, real and faux fur coats. Sportswear. Leggings or tights were made with spandex. Clothing for active sports. Sweatshirts were worn over sweatpants or tights. High, thigh-cut bathing suits were worn as swimwear. Sleepwear. Footed onesies, nightgowns, and t-shirts were worn. Hair and headdress. Hair reflected the diversity of the current fashions. So some hair was short and long, full, curly, or frizzy. Some hairstyles were also similar to those of punk styles. Hats were worn by young people. Headbands, bows, scarves, or ribbon or fabric that was affixed to elastic bands were also worn. Footwear included sneakers, low-heel shoes, and Doc Martens, which were worn by young people. Accessories, shawls, and long scarves. Cosmetics and grooming included makeup, which was now more obvious, with lipsticks in darker colors, and the skin was preferred to have a paler look. Costume components for men. Garments. Briefs were now available in all colors. The silhouette of the suit emphasized colored or printed dress shirts with white collars were worn. Sportswear. Double-breasted blazers and wool tweeds were popular. Evening dress. Tailcoats were now worn only by stage performers or sometimes at weddings. Outdoor garments. Leather motorcycle jackets, down-filled vests and jackets, and Western-style split cowhide POW-lined jackets were worn. Clothing for active sports. Warm-up suits, gym shorts, and sweatpants were worn by athletes and as sportswear. Sleepwear. High neck or V-neck pullovers or shirt collar tops with pants was worn for sleeping. Hair and headdress. Short hair dominated, however, all hair lengths was worn. Kangol hats and bucket hats were also popular during this time. These type hats were more influenced by the hip hop or African American street style. Stetson's hat styles had a brief revival during this period as well. Footwear included sneakers. So sneakers was one of the most popular footwear of the time, particularly Pumas and Adidas. Western boots, hiking, and walking shoes were also worn. Accessories. So ties now grew wider, and the floral print was also very popular amongst tie options. Jewelry. Gold chains and earrings were worn. However, for men, wedding rings or single rings was recommended for business wear. Cosmetics and grooming. So fragrances and aftershave became popular grooming items. Costume components for children. Garments. So the garments of children reflected those of adult fashions. So Sesame Street did influence some children's clothing as well. Cartoons and strip characters were licensed to children clothing manufacturers. So these cartoons and strip characters often appeared on children's clothing. Girls. Girls dress in various hem lengths from several inches above the knee to knee length. Knee length or longer tights were worn with t-shirts. Shorts and long pants were worn. Jumpsuits and jogging suits were also worn. Boys. Their clothing was strongly influenced by sports, so they wore baseball jackets and baseball caps. Rugby shirts were popular, as well as styles that were endorsed by sports figures.